Come, let us explore the sixth verse of the Great Garuda in Flight, a Dzogchen classic. This was written many centuries ago by the great Buddhist reformer Vajra of Odhanaya, today's Swat Valley of Pakistan. Together let us relaxingly recite. The eye which sees that there is no object to be seen sees the wonder. It transcends all definitions, as there is nothing specific to be heard. What is right and what is wrong are always mixed up and equal. A higher dimension named ultimate reality cannot even be described. Well, this could sound like pseudo-spiritual word salad, so I'll do my best to make sense of it for you. The eye which sees that there is no object to be seen. Well, there's something right there to deconstruct. I'm going to tap button 9 and see if I can shed some light on this. Mindfulness is just a fancy word for noticing. Every time we inhale, we are wired to automatically access the sympathetic aspect of our autonomic nervous system ensconced within the middle third of our spinal cord. This sympathetic aspect has evolved to help us to vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly notice mind's antics of perception, emotion, intention, cognition, recollection, and imagination. Because it has evolved to help us notice passively and vulnerably and randomly. We do not actively choose what to notice. Instead, we are vulnerable and open to all manner of phenomena, from the external to the internal, from the physical to the mental, from the pleasurable to the painful, from the interesting to the boring, from the glorious to the grotesque. Well, what do we do with that which we noticed? Meditation is just a fancy word for physical relaxation as well as mental release. Every time we inhale, the parasympathetic aspect of our autonomic nervous system, divided between the lower third and the upper third of that same spinal cord, has evolved to support both the physical relaxation as well as mental release of that which we noticed during our previous inhalation, to the point that fleetingly, literally, they could feel less stressful, less permanent, and less defining. And figuratively, that which we noticed during our previous inhalation could feel as non-graspable as a vast empty void. Now, any good English teacher will remind us that a simile is only as useful as it is relatable. Therefore, we have to ask the question, what? What is a real-world example of a non-graspable vast empty void? How about the illusion of the infinite azure sky on a bright and beautiful cloudless morn, which, although could be tantalizing to the eye, feels non-graspable to the hand? And that brings us back to the root text. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever objects we saw during our previous inhalation could fleetingly feel as if they were as non-graspable as a vast empty void. They could feel as non-graspable as the illusion of the infinite azure sky on a bright and beautiful cloudless morn. Just like we mentioned. How long does that last? That lasts until the next inhalation, and the cycle begins all over again. Well, does that make it a Sisyphean task? No, our job is not to control the way things seem. Our job is to passively cooperate with the functions of our sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems. This frees us from the tyranny of our survival drives. Our survival drives occasionally are great, but if they become a constant, they will strip our lives of meaning. The freedom the Buddha offers us is not freedom from the presence of our survival drives, but freedom from their tyranny. So that when someone cuts us off in traffic, we don't tear them out of the car and beat them half to death, so that we can feel what we feel without being defined or controlled by what we feel. Let's continue. The eye which sees that there is no object to be seen sees the wonder. It transcends all definitions as there is nothing specific to be heard. I can talk until my throat grows hoarse and until your ears grow weary, but that is no substitute for passively cooperating with our sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems in coordination with our inhalation and our exhalation. So let's look at that in a little bit more detail. I'm going to once again return us to button 9. Every time we feel air enter our nostrils, we could silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this. Every time we feel air exit our nostrils, we could silently and mentally recite the one-syllable verb ease. This is the most efficient way to passively cooperate with the sympathetic and parasympathetic aspects of our autonomic nervous system, that which the ancients referred to as our Buddha nature, that which makes not only mindfulness and meditation effortless, but which makes wisdom, love, and going with the flow and inevitability. And the main thing is we don't have to do that 24/7. We can do that for as little as 5 minutes once every 12 hours or so, and we will make progress on the path. What is right and what is wrong are always mixed up and equal. So right there, that's worth exploring. So there's a wonderful line in Empire Strikes Back when Luke is trying to practice bravado before Yoda, and he says, "I'm not scared." And to which Yoda responds, and I paraphrase, "Oh, but you will be." And that can be adapted to the meditation experience, where the student says to the teacher, "I'm scared I'll make a mistake." And the teacher says, "Oh, don't worry. You will. You'll make mistakes. We all make mistakes." And yet, every sentient human possesses an autonomic nervous system and is therefore capable of passively noticing and relaxing. The only question is whether we cooperate with it or whether we resist it. Now, let's explore that a little bit deeper. So I'm going to, once again, tap a series of buttons. Now, I've been going on and on about passively cooperating with the two aspects of our autonomic nervous system. Most of us are taught not to do that. Sturgeon's law reminds us that 90% of everything's sex, including meditation teachers. 90% of spiritual teachers implore their people, directly or indirectly, to be rigid, fearful, superstitious, controlling, elitist, cryptic, competitive, and cruel. The same minister, which may say you must believe, would also say work out your salvation with fear and trembling, be scared of hell. The beginning of wisdom is the fear of God. That's what many, the majority of spiritual teachers teach in one form or another. Now, the minority teach and exemplify being flexible, loving, rational, laid back, egalitarian, lucid, cooperative, and kind. These are denigrated by these people. It's weird, but it's true. These people on the left are the people who implore their students to excessively focus and excessively analyze. This exhausts the prefrontal cortex to the point that one begins presenting with symptoms of depression, as well as triggering one's amygdala, the seat of both anxiety and aggression. When we cooperate with our sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems, not only do we calm the anxiety and aggression of our amygdala, but we gently stimulate our anterior cingulate gyrus, which functions as the hub of our mirror neurons, the seat of empathy, which is the root of both compassion and love. And yet, whatever depression or anxiety or aggression or peace or love we noticed during our in-breath, as we relax into our exhalation, could feel as if momentarily, fleetingly, they smack of the same taste of at least partial non-graspability. That is the equality of which we speak. There's another way of putting it. As we relax into our exhalation, both peace and anxiety feel as if they were simply melt into the simplicity of just being emotions. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever hate or love we notice during our inhalation could feel as if they melt into the simplicity of just intentions. Now, does that mean that we're immoral and we have no idea between good and bad? No, the essence of morality is love. And the more we practice mindfulness and meditation, the more love will flow through us in a distinctly centered and spontaneous manner. Not just the emotion, but the effect of love upon our choices and our utterances and our deeds. In other words, kindness will flow through us. It will become a conduit of kindness. Remember when we were children, the first week of summer, we couldn't wait to play in the garden with the hose and the water and all that kind of fun stuff? Just as a hose is a conduit for water, we have evolved to be a conduit of love and wisdom. And we open that spigot, metaphorically speaking. The more we practice, the more we passively cooperate with our autonomic nervous system through mindfulness and meditation. We come to the final quarter of this morning's lesson. A higher dimension named ultimate reality cannot even be described. So this is a playful verse. In a previous verse, the author has said, there's just this dimension. To worry about other dimensions, paradise dimensions, hell dimensions, ultimate dimensions, is at best a metaphor and at worst a distraction. Every time we breathe in, we experience the conventional. Every time we cooperate with our exhalation, we experience the ultimate. There is no need to describe it. There is no need to wax poetic. There is no need to develop faith or develop theories. All we need to do is cooperate with our own Buddha nature, our own autonomic nervous system. Having completed our opening lesson, we could now shift gears. It is Ahsoka Tano Thursday morning. Come, let us meditate like a Jedi after approximately 30 seconds of housekeeping. This is the Dzogchen Sende Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. For more than 30 years, I have harnessed my autistic special interests as well as my ADHD hyperfocus to spend about 8 hours a day, almost every day, studying, practicing, mastering, and reverse engineering the teachings and techniques of each school of meditation so that I can become your personal neurodivergent guide to nirvana. Welcome, my friends, to meditate like a Jedi, which is made possible due to the generosity of viewers just like you. For the remainder of this morning's live stream, let's play with the latest iteration of very easy meditation practice text, or sadhana, if you're nasty. So we don't have to practice. So we don't have to practice this all day long. We can practice this for as little as 5 minutes every 12 hours or so. We could practice it lying down. We could practice this walking around the block. We can practice this sitting as sustainably as we can. Let us practice that way right now for the next bit. The moment you have a specific question about Buddhist philosophy or meditation, do not hesitate to type your question in great detail in the chat window, for I tend to check for questions about once every 13 minutes or so. Let's dig in. You have taken your first step into a much larger world. If you feel that I have earned it, you could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could even help support this channel. In approximately 9.5 hours, I would very much like to return to lead today's evening meditation class as well as group practice. And if you are as geeky as me, may the Force be with you always.